Hey! All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming out to see the Bald Soprano. We've been working so hard on this show, and we've been working on it since January. This is our final performance, and so I'm so happy that y'all are here. This show, before I get into it, on your playbill, I know some of you didn't get them because we kind of ran out. On the back of your playbill, there is a QR code that you can scan to get to an anonymous response form where you can give us your thoughts and feelings and things about the show. This is my thesis production, and so I need all the information that I can get, so I would love your feedback. Yeah, so if you don't have a playbill, you can go to our Instagram, and in the little website thing at the top, in the bio at the top, you can click on a link to find the Google form as well. So, yeah. Also, this play is, what's that over there? Must have been nothing. Anyhow, so we're going to get started here shortly. This play is about an hour and 10 minutes long, so there's no intermission. You're stuck with us. We're going to get started here shortly. Just make sure to silence your cell phones, no flash photography. We are recording this performance. So yeah, without further ado, oh, here you go. Can you just hold that for me? Great, thank you. The Bald Soprano.
There. It's 9 o'clock. We've drunk the soup, and eaten the fish and chips, and the English salad. The children have drunk the English water. They've eaten well this evening. That is because we live in the suburbs of London, and our name is Smith. Potatoes are very good fried, in fact. The salad oil was not rancid. The oil from the grocer at the corner is much better quality than the oil from the grocer across the street. It is even better quality than the oil from the grocer at the bottom of the street. However, I prefer not to tell them that the oil is bad. But still, the oil from the grocer at the corner is still the best. Mary did the potatoes very well this evening. The last time she did not do them well. I don't like when they are well done. The fish was fresh. Made my mouth water. I had 2 helpings. No, I had 3 helpings. That made me go to the WC. You also had 3 helpings. However, the 3rd time you had less than the first 2 times. Well, as for me, I had a great deal more. I eat better than you this evening. Why is that? Usually it's you who eats better. It's not appetite you lack. But still, the soup was perhaps a little too salt. It also had too many leeks and not enough onions. It would have been nice, perhaps, if Mary added some aniseed stars. Next time I'll tell her. Our little boy wanted to drink beer. He's going to love getting tiddly. He's like you. At the table, did you notice how he stared at the bottle? But still, I put some water from the jug into his glass. He was thirsty, and he drank it. Helen is like me. She's a good manager. Thrifty. Plays the piano. She never asks to drink English. She's like our little daughter, who drinks only milk and eats only porridge. It's obvious she's only 2. Her name is Peggy. The quince and bean pie was marvelous. It would have been nice, perhaps, to have a small glass of Australian burgundy with a sweet, but I did not bring the bottle to the table because I did not wish to set the children a bad example of gluttony. They must Learn to be sober and temperate. Mrs. Parker knows a native Romanian grocer by the name of Popescu Rosenfeld, who's just come from Constantinople. He is a great specialist in yogurt. He has a diploma from the School of Yogurt Making in Adrianople. Tomorrow, I will buy a large pot of native Romanian yogurt from him. One does not often find such things here in the suburbs of London. Yogurt is great for the stomach, kidneys, appendicitis, apotheosis.
Apotheosis.
It was Dr. Mackenzie King who told me that. He is the one who takes care of the children of our neighbors, the Johns. He is a good doctor. One can trust him. He never prescribes any medication he's not tried out on himself first. Before operating on Parker, he had his own liver operated on, although he was not the least bit ill.
But how does it happen that the doctor pulled through whilst Parker died?
Because the operation was successful in the doctor's case, and it was not in Parker's.
Then Mackenzie is not a good doctor. The operation should have succeeded with both of them, or else both should have died.
Why?
A conscientious doctor must die with his patient if they can't get well together. The captain of a ship goes down with his ship into the briny deep. He does not survive alone.
One cannot compare a patient with a ship.
Why not? A ship has its diseases too. Moreover, your doctor is hale as a ship. That's why he should have perished at the same time as his patient, like the captain and his ship.
I never thought of that. Perhaps it is true. And then what conclusion do you draw from this?
All doctors are quacks. All patients, too. Only the Royal Navy is honest in England.
But not sailors.
Yes, naturally. Here's the thing I don't understand. In the paper, they always give the age of recently deceased persons, but never the age of the newly born. That doesn't make sense.
I never thought of that.
Bong, 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 bong.
It says here that Bobby Watson died.
Oh my God, the poor man! When did he die?
Why do you pretend to be astonished? You know very well he's been dead these past 2 years.
Oh.
Surely you remember attending his funeral a year and a half ago?
Yes. I remember right away. But I don't understand why you yourself were so surprised to read it in the paper.
It wasn't in the paper. It's been 3 years since his death was announced. I remembered it through an association of ideas.
What a pity. He was so well preserved.
Oh, he was the handsomest corpse in all of Great Britain. He didn't look his age, poor Bobby. He'd been dead, 4 years? And he was still warm. A veritable living corpse. How cheerful he was.
What a pity. Poor Bobby.
Which poor Bobby do you mean?
It is his wife that I mean. She's also called Bobby Watson. Since they both had the same name, you could never tell one from the other when you saw them together. It was only after his death that you could really tell which was which. And there are still people today who confuse her with the deceased and offer their condolences to him. Do you know her?
I only met her once by chance at Bobby's burial.
I've never seen her. She pretty.
She has regular features, and yet still one cannot say that she is pretty. Her features are not regular, but still one can say that she is very pretty. She's tall and thin. She's a voice teacher.
Bong, 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 bong.
And when do they plan to be married, those two?
Next spring at the latest.
We shall have to go to their wedding, I suppose.
Suppose we shall have to get them a present. I wonder what.
We gave them one of the 7 silver salvers that was given to us for our wedding, and which are never any use to us. How sad for her to be left a widow so young.
Fortunately, they had no children.
Oh, that was all they needed. Children, poor woman, how could she manage?
She's still very young. She might very well remarry. She looks so well and warm.
But who would take care of the children? You know very well to have a boy and a girl. What are their names?
Bobby and Bobby, like their parents. Yes. Bobby Watson's uncle, old Bobby Watson, is a rich man and very fond of the boy. He might very well pay for Bobby's education.
That would be proper. And Bobby Watson's aunt, old Bobby Watson, might very well in her turn pay for the education of Bobby Watson. Bobby Watson's daughter would marry Bobby. Bobby Watson's mother could remarry. Has she anyone in mind?
Oh yes, a cousin of Bobby Watson's.
Who? Bobby Watson?
Which Bobby Watson do you mean?
Why, Bobby Watson, the son of old Bobby Watson, the late Bobby Watson's other uncle.
No, it's not that. It's someone else. It's Bobby Watson, the son of old Bobby Watson, the late Bobby Watson's aunt.
Are you referring to Bobby Watson, the commercial traveler?
All the Bobby Watsons are commercial travelers.
What a difficult trade. However, they do well at it.
Yes, when there's no competition.
And when is there no competition?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Tuesdays.
Oh, 3 days a week. And what does Bobby Watson do on those
He
days?
rests, he sleeps.
But why doesn't he work those 3 days if there's no competition?
I don't know everything. I can't answer all your idiotic questions.
Oh! Are you trying to humiliate me?
Very well, but I'm not.
Men are all alike. You sit there all day long, a cigarette in your mouth, or you bow to your nose and rouge your lips 50 times a day, or else you drink like a fish.
What would you say if you saw men acting like women do? Smoking all day, powdering, rouging their lips, drinking whiskey.
It is nothing to me. But if you are only saying that to annoy me, I do not care for that kind of joking. You know that perfectly well!
Oh, my little ducky daddles, what a little spitfire you are. Oh, but I only said it as a joke. What a ridiculous pair of old lovers we are. Come, let's put out the lights and go bye-byes.
I'm the maid! I spent a very pleasant afternoon. I went to the cinema with a man, and then I went to see a film with some women, and then after the cinema, we went to drink brandy and milk, and then read the newspaper. Oh, I hope that you spent a pleasant afternoon, and that you went to the cinema with a man, and that you had some brandy and some milk.
And the newspaper.
Mr. and Mrs. Martin, your guests are at the door. They were waiting for me. They didn't dare come in by themselves. They were supposed to have dinner with you this evening. Yes. We were expecting them. And we were hungry. Since they did not put in an appearance, we were going to start dinner without them. You have not had anything to eat all day. You should not have gone out. But it was you who gave me permission.
We didn't do it on purpose.
I bought me a chamber pot. My dear little Mary, please open the door for Mr. and Mrs. Martin. Let's come to step in. We will change quickly. Yes. Why have you come so late? You're not very polite. People should be punctual. You understand? Come in anyway, now that you're here.
Seems to me, unless I'm mistaken, that I've met you somewhere before.
I too, sir. It seems to me that we've met somewhere before.
How curious that is. Was it by chance at Manchester that I caught a glimpse of you, madam?
Oh, well, that is very possible. I am originally from the city of Manchester. But I do not have a good memory, sir, and I cannot say for certain whether it is that I caught a glimpse of you or not.
How curious that is. I, too, am originally from the city of Manchester.
Oh, well, that is curious.
Isn't it? Only I, madam, left the city of Manchester 5 weeks ago.
Oh, well, that is curious. How very bizarre. What a coincidence. I, too, left the city of Manchester about 5 weeks ago.
Madam, I took the 8:30 boarding train, arriving in London at 4:45.
Oh, that is curious. I took the same train, sir. I, too.
Good Lord, how curious. Perhaps it was on that train that I saw you.
That is certainly possible. That is, it's not unlikely. It is plausible, and after all, why not? But I do not recall it, sir.
I traveled the second class. There is no second class in England. But I always travel the second class.
That is curious. How very bizarre. I too traveled second class, sir. I too.
How curious that is. It must have been in the second class that we met.
Well, that is certainly possible after all, and it is not at all unlikely. But I do not remember very well, my dear sir.
My seat was in coach number 8, compartment 6, my dear lady.
Oh, how curious that is! Bizarre, what a coincidence! I too sat in coach number 8, compartment 6, dear sir.
How curious that is. It must have been in that compartment that we met.
That is very possible, but I do not recall it, sir.
To tell the truth, my dear lady, neither do I. However, it is very possible that we saw each other on this occasion, and as it seems to me, even very likely.
Oh, truly. Of course. Truly, sir.
How curious it is! I had seat number 3 next to the window, my dear lady.
Oh, good Lord! Oh, how curious that is! I had seat number 6 next to the window across from you, dear sir.
How curious that is, and what a coincidence. We were then seated facing one another. It is there that we must have seen each other.
Well, that is certainly possible after all. But I do not recall it, dear sir.
To tell the truth, my dear lady, neither do I. However, it is very possible that we saw each other on this occasion.
It is true, but I am not at all sure of it.
Dear madam, were you not the lady who asked me to place her suitcase in the luggage rack and who thanked me and gave me permission to smoke?
Oh, but of course, that must have been I. How curious it is, how curious it is. And what a coincidence.
How curious it is, how bizarre,
Oh,
and what a coincidence. It is there that we must have met.
that is curious. It is indeed possible. But I do not recall it, dear sir.
Nor do I.
Bong, bong, bong.
Since coming to London, I resided in Broomfield Street, my dear lady.
That is curious. How bizarre. I, too, since coming to London, have resided in Broomfield Street, dear sir.
How curious that is. Well, and well, then it must have been on that street that I saw you.
It is possible, dear sir, but I do not recall it.
I live at number 19, my dear lady. Well then, it must have been at that house that we saw each other.
It is indeed possible, but I do not recall it.
My flat is on the 5th floor, number 8, my dear lady.
How curious that is! How bizarre! My flat too is on the 5th floor and number 8, dear sir.
How curious that is, how curious that is, how curious that is, how curious that is, and how bizarre. You know, in my bedroom, there is a bed. And on the bed is a green eiderdown. And the room with the bed and the green eiderdown is at the end of the corridor between the water closet and the bookcase, dear lady.
What a coincidence! Good Lord! What a coincidence! My bedroom too has a bed. It has a green eiderdown that's located at the end of the corridor between the water closet and the bookcase, dear sir!
Well, how bizarre, curious, and strange! Then we live in the same room, we sleep in the same bed. It was there we must have seen each other.
It is indeed possible that we have met there, and perhaps even, last night. But I do not recall it, dear sir.
I have a daughter, my little girl. She lives with me, my dear lady. She's 2 years old. She's blonde. She has a white eye and a red eye. Her name is Alice.
What a bizarre coincidence! I too have a little girl. She is 2 years old. She has a white eye and a red eye. She is very pretty. And her name is Alice too, dear sir.
How bizarre. What a coincidence. How curious it is. Perhaps they are the same.
How curious it is. It is indeed possible, dear sir.
Bong, 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 bong.
Then, dear lady, there can be no doubt about it. We do know each other. You are my very own wife. Elizabeth, I found you again!
Donald, it's you,
Donald and Elizabeth are now too happy to be able to hear me. I can therefore let you in on a secret. Donald is not Donald, and Elizabeth is not Elizabeth. And here is the proof. Elizabeth and Donald, the child that they spoke of, is not the same child. It's not the same person. Donald's daughter has one red eye and one white eye like Elizabeth's daughter. Whereas Donald's daughter has a white right eye and a red left eye. Elizabeth's daughter has a red right eye and a white left eye. Thus, all of Donald's system of deduction collapses when it comes up against this last obstacle, which destroys his whole theory. Donald, stop that. In spite of these extraordinary coincidences, which seem to be definitive proof, Elizabeth and Donald, not being parents of the same child, are not Elizabeth and Donald. It is in vain that she thinks that she is Elizabeth. Excuse me. It is in vain that he believes that he is Donald. He believes in vain that she is Elizabeth. She believes in vain that he is Donald. They're sadly deceived. But who is the true Elizabeth? Who is the true Donald? Who has any interest in continuing this confusion? I don't know. Let's not try to know. Let's leave things as they are. My real name is Sherlock Holmes.
Darling, let's forget all that has not passed between us, and now that we've found each other again, let's try and live as before.
Yes, darling. Good evening, dear friends. We are so sorry for having made you wait so long. We thought we should extend to you the courtesy to which you are entitled. And as soon as we had learned that you had been kind enough to come and see us without any prior notice, we hurried to dress for the occasion.
We've had nothing to eat all day, and we've been waiting 4 whole hours for you. Why have you come so late?
But definitely.
We all have colds.
Nevertheless, it's not chilly.
Oh, there's no draft.
Oh no, fortunately.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Don't you feel well?
Oh no, he's wet his pants.
Oh! Sir, at your age, you shouldn't.
The heart is ageless.
That's true.
So they say.
Oh, but they also say the opposite.
The truth lies somewhere between.
That's true. Since you travel so much, you must have many interesting things to tell us.
Yes, my dear, tell them about your day.
Oh, well, it's scarcely worth the trouble, for no one would believe
We're not going to question your sincerity.
You will offend us if you think that.
You will offend you think that, my dear?
Well, today I saw something extraordinary.
Tell us quickly, my dear.
Today.
Oh, this is going to be amusing.
At last.
Well,
Yes.
I was out shopping to buy some vegetables, which are getting dear.
Oh, we're so going to end.
You shouldn't interrupt, my dear. It's very rude.
Yes, well, I was on the street near a cafe and I saw a man, properly dressed, about 50 years old, or not even that. What?
Don't interrupt, my dear. You're disgusting.
My dear. It was you who interrupted first, you bore.
What was this man doing?
Well, I'm sure you'll say that I'm making it up, but he was down on one knee and he was bent over. Yes! Bent over! Bent over! I went near him to see what he was doing.
And?
He was tying his shoelace, which had come undone.
Fantastic!
If someone else had told me this, I'd not believe it.
Why not? One sees things even more extraordinary every day when one goes outside. Even just today, I saw a man on the underground sitting on a bench reading a newspaper.
What a character!
It was the same man.
Oh!
Goodness, someone is ringing.
There must be somebody there. I'll go and see. Nobody.
Why don't I give you another example? Sure. There I was.
Goodness, someone is ringing.
There must be somebody there. I'll go and see. No one.
Oh, you were saying you were going to give us another example.
Yes, sure. There I was, right there in the middle of...
Goodness, someone is ringing.
I'm not going to open the door again.
Yes, but there must be someone there.
The first time there was no one. The second time there was no one. Why do you think that there is someone there now?
Because someone has rung.
But that's no reason.
When one hears the doorbell ring, that means someone is at the door ringing to be let in.
Not always. You have just seen otherwise.
In most cases, yes.
As for me, when I go to visit someone, I ring in order to be admitted. I think that everyone else does the same, and that each time there is a doorbell ring, there must be someone there.
That is true in theory, but in reality, things happen differently. You have just seen otherwise.
Your wife is right.
Oh, you women, always standing up for each other.
Well, I'll go and see. You can't say that I'm obstinate, but you will see that there is no one there. See?
No.
There's no one there. These men always think they're right, and you are always wrong.
Goodness! Someone is ringing! There must be someone there!
Do not send
No.
Yes.
No. In any case, you are not going to bother me again for nothing. If you wish to know, go and look yourself.
I'll go.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, how do you do? Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith. You appear to be angry.
You see, my wife is a little chagrined at having been proved wrong.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith were just having an argument, Mr. Fire Chief.
This is no business of yours. I beg you not to involve outsiders in our family arguments.
Oh, my dear, this is not so serious. The fire chief is an old friend of the family. His mother courted me, and I knew his father. Yeah. He asked me to give him my daughter's hand if ever I had one. He died waiting.
Well, that's neither his fault nor yours.
Well, what is it all about?
Well, my husband was claiming.
No, it was you who was claiming. Yes, it was she.
No, it was he.
Don't get all excited. You tell me, Mrs. Smith.
Oh. Well, this is how it was. It is difficult for me to speak openly with you, but Fireman is also a professor.
Well then.
We're arguing because my husband here was claiming that every time the doorbell rings, there's always someone there.
It is plausible.
And I was saying that every time the doorbell rings, there is never anyone there.
It might seem
But
strange.
it has been proved, not by theoretical demonstrations, but by facts.
That's false. This is the fire chief.
Yes.
He rang the bell, I opened the door, and there he was.
When?
Oh, but just now.
Oh! But it was only when you heard the doorbell ring for the 4th time that there was someone there, and the 4th time does not count.
Never. It is only the first 3 times that count.
But perhaps it was someone else.
Mr. Fire Chief, permit me in my turn to ask you several questions.
Go right ahead.
When I opened the door and saw you, it was really you who had rung?
Yes, it was I.
And you rang in order to be admitted.
I do not deny
You
it.
see, I was right. When one hears the doorbell ring, that means someone is at the door ringing it. You certainly cannot say the fire chief is not someone.
Certainly not. I repeat to you that I was referring only to the first 3 times, since the 4th time does not count.
And when the doorbell rang the first time, was it you?
No, it wasn't I.
You see, the doorbell rang and no one was there.
Were you standing at the door a long time?
3/4 of an hour.
You saw no one?
No one. I am sure of it.
And did you hear it when the doorbell rang the 2nd time?
Yes. There still wasn't anyone there.
Victory! I was right.
Not so fast. And what were you doing at the door?
I was doing nothing. I was just standing there thinking of many things.
But the 3rd time, was it not you who rung?
Yes, it was I.
But when the door was opened, nobody was in sight.
That is because I had hidden myself as a joke.
Do not make jokes, Mr. Fire Chief. This business is too sad.
Still, we do not know whether when the doorbell rings if someone is there or not.
Never anyone.
Always someone.
Let me reconcile you. when the doorbell rings, sometimes there is someone. But other times, there's no one.
This seems logical to me.
Life is
So too.
simple, really. Now go on and kiss each other.
We just kissed each other a little while ago.
No, kiss each other tomorrow. They have plenty of time.
We do. Since you have to settle this, Mr. Fire Chief, please make yourself comfortable. Sit down and take off your helmet.
Excuse me, but I must be going. I should like to remove my helmet, but I haven't the time to sit down. I must admit, I am here for another reason.
And what can we do for you, Mr. Fire Chief?
You don't mind in front of them?
Oh, say whatever you like.
I've never met these people in my life.
Speak. Well, is there a fire here?
Why do you ask us that?
Well, it's because it's my duty to extinguish all the fires in the city.
All?
Yes, all.
I don't know. I don't think so. Do you want me to go and look?
There can't be one here. There's no smell of anything burning.
None. None at all. Not even a fire just started in the chimney. Not a fire in the cellar or the attic. Not a fire started in place.
I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but I don't believe there's anything here. I will notify you as soon as we do have something.
Please. It would be a great help.
I promise.
And there's nothing doing at your house either.
No, unfortunately.
Things aren't going so well just now.
Very good. There's almost nothing. A few trifles, a chimney, a barn, nothing important. And since there's no returns, the profit on output is very meager.
Times are bad. That's true all over. It's the same with business and agriculture as it is with fires. Nothing is prospering.
No wheat, no fires.
No floods either.
That's because it's important.
It's different in the case of fires. The tariffs are too high.
All the same. There's an occasional asphyxiation, but that's unusual too. For instance, a young girl had asphyxiated herself last week. She had left the gas on.
Had she forgotten it?
No, but she had thought it was her comb.
Oh!
These confusions are always dangerous.
Did you go to see the match dealer?
Oh, there's nothing doing there. He's insured against fire.
Why don't you go see the vicar of Wakefield and use my name?
I don't have the right to do that. The bishop would get angry. And besides, clergymen put out their own fires, or else they have them put out by Vestal virgins.
Go see the Durants!
I can't do that either. He's not English. And besides, Englishmen have the right to have their houses put out, but not if they're burning.
Nevertheless, when they set fire to it last year, it was put out all the same.
That is because he had put it out himself. Clandestinely. Clandestinely.
Clandestinely. Clandestinely.
And it is not I who would report them.
Hey, neither would I.
Since you are not too pressed, Mr. Fire Chief, why don't you stay a little while longer? You'd be doing us a favor.
Shall I tell you some stories?
Yes, by all means! How charming of you!
And what's even more interesting is firemen stories are all true, and they're based on experience.
Nothing but from experience. All truth, no fiction.
Truth is only found in real life, never in books.
Begin! Hush! He is beginning!
Please don't look at me that way. It embarrasses me. You know I'm trying.
Be charming.
Okay. I'm going to try and begin now, but promise me you won't listen.
But if we don't listen to you, then we won't hear you!
I didn't think of that.
I told you, he's just a boy.
Sweet child!
Chin up!
Well then, the tale of the dog and the cow. An experimental thing. There once was another dog. And another cow. And the cow had asked the dog, "Why have you not eaten your trunk?" And the dog replied, "Well, it is because I had thought I was an elephant."
What is the moral?
That is for you to find out. There once was a cow that had eaten too much ground glass, and then it was obliged to give birth. And the cat couldn't call him Mama, nor could he call him Papa because, well, the cat was too little. And then they were obliged to get married, and all the details carried out by the registry office completely a la mode.
Like tripes.
You've heard of that one.
Listen all. It happened not far from our house.
Well, let me try another. The cock! There once was a cock that had wished to play the dog. But it did not work because everyone had recognized him right away.
Nevertheless, the dog which you played the cock was never recognized.
I'll tell you one. The snake and the fox! Once upon a time, a snake came up to a fox and said, "It seems to me that I know you." "Me too," replied the fox. "Then," said the snake, "give me some money!" I said. Yes. "A fox does not give money," replied the tricky animal, who, in order to escape, jumped down into a ravine full of strawberries and chicken honey. But the snake was there waiting for him, with a Mephistophelian laugh. The fox pulled out his knife, shouting, "I want to take you away!" And he took to flight, turning his back. But he had no luck, for the snake was quicker. With one well-chosen blow of his fist, he struck the fox right in the middle of his forehead, shattering it into 1,000 tiny pieces. All while he shouted, "No! No! More times no! I'm not your daughter." Thank you.
It's let's see. It's
It's terrible.
It wasn't even true.
Yes, unfortunately.
Dear lady, I believe it's your turn.
Oh. I only know one. I'm going to tell it. It is called The Bouquet.
My wife has always been romantic.
She's a true English woman.
There once was a fiancé who gave a bouquet of flowers to his fiancée, who said thanks. But before she could say thanks, he, without saying a single word, took back the flowers he had given her in order to teach her a good lesson. And he said, I take them back. He said goodbye. He took them back. And he went off in all directions. You have a wife, Mr. Smith, of whom all the world is jealous.
My wife is intelligence personified. She's much more intelligent than I. In any case, she's much more feminine, so everyone seems to say.
Let's have another Mr. Fire Chief.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta go.
Tell us one anyway.
I'm too tired.
Please, do us a favor.
No.
I beg of you.
You have a heart of ice. We are singing on hot gold.
I implore you.
Right.
Please, he's going to bore us again.
Hush, what? Come on.
The head cold. Now, I had a brother who, on the maternal side, had a first cousin, who has maternal uncle, had a grandfather-in-law who married twice to his second wife, a young native, whose brother he had met on one of his travels, a girl of whom he was enamored, and by who he had a son. Now, that son had married an intrepid lady farmer, had an adopted father who had an aunt who spoke Spanish fluently, and himself was the grandson of an owner of a vineyard who made mediocre wine. Himself, the grandson of an engineer who died young. And the brother, the produced, I already said that, whose son had married a very pretty young woman, a divorcee, whose first husband was the son of a lawyer. Pick up on your phone to know. She's a very footman who had known, and whose brother, and who changed his trade several times and married a daughter whose stunted great-grandfather had been given to him by a cousin. Himself was the foster brother of the son of a forester, himself the natural son of another country doctor married 2 times in a row to his third wife.
You know, I knew that third wife. She sat on a chicken's nest eating hornet's honey.
It's not the same one. As I was saying, whose third wife was the daughter of the best midwife in the region who early left a widow.
Oh, like my wife.
Who was full of life and who had the daughter of a station master, a child with burned his bridges.
No, his bridge game.
And had married, whose father had a mayor of a small town who had taken his wife, a blonde school teacher whose son was a fly fisherman.
A fly by night.
Another blonde school teacher named Marie, too, whose brother was married to another Marie who was also a blonde school teacher.
Since she's blonde, she must be Marie.
Ha!
and whose father had been reared in Canada by an old woman. Come on. Who's the niece of a priest, who occasionally in the winter caught a cold.
If you catch a cold, you should get yourself a coat.
It's a useless precaution, but absolutely necessary.
Excuse me, Mr. Fire Chief, but I did not follow your story very well. When we got to the part of the grandmother of the priest, I got mixed up.
Hey, what always gets mixed up in the hands of a priest?
Yes, Mr. Fire Chief, begin again. Everyone wants to hear. From the top. Whole thing.
Whole thing this time. The head cold. Now, I had a father-in-law, a brother-in-law, who on the paternal side, I don't know whether I'll be able to have the time. It would depend on what time it is.
We don't have the time here.
But the clock.
If it runs badly, it is contradictory. It dictates the opposite of what the hour really is.
Madam.
Sir, what do you want?
What have you come in here for?
I hope Madam, sir, will forgive me. And the ladies and gentlemen, too. I was wondering. I wanted to tell a story to you all myself.
What is she saying?
I think our friend's maid is going crazy. They want to tell a story too.
Who does she think?
This
is really uncalled for, Mary.
But it is she. Incredible!
What does all this mean? Incredible. Here.
You two know each other?
And how? It was she who put out my first fire.
Emotions are understandable, human, honorable.
Oh, that is human. So I don't like to see it.
Oh, you have too many prejudices.
Well, all I have to say about it's none of my business is that a maid is never anything more than a maid.
Even if she could be a rather good detective.
Let me go.
They're not so bad, really.
You two. You two. Charming. Charming. Really? But, a little.
That's exactly the word.
Exhibitionist.
There is a native British modesty, not yet understood by foreigners, even by specialists, by which I thus try to express myself, dear lady. And I don't mean to refer to you as any sort of...
I was going to tell you.
Don't tell us anything.
Go. Yes.
Yes.
Go. My little Mary, go quietly into the kitchen and read your poems before the mirror.
You know, even though I'm not a maid, I always read my poems before the mirror.
Yeah, when you looked at yourself in the
because I wasn't there yet.
All the same, perhaps I could recite a poem for everyone. Mary, you are frightfully obstinate.
It is decided then I shall recite a poem. This is entitled The Fire, in honor of the fire chief.
Get out.
The fire. Holopoids were burning in the wood. A stone caught fire. The castle caught fire. The forest caught fire. The men caught fire. The women caught fire. The birds caught fire. The fish caught fire. The water caught fire. The sky caught fire. The ash caught fire. The smoke caught fire. The fire caught fire. Everything caught fire. Caught fire. Caught fire. Caught fire. I go back. That sent chills up my spine.
Yet there was a certain warmth to those lines.
I thought it was marvelous.
All the same.
You're exaggerating.
I must admit that all this is very subjective. But this is my ideal. My world. My dream! Which reminds me I must be going. In approximately 3/4 of an hour and 17 minutes, there will be another fire on the other end of the city that will end quite unimportant.
And what will it be? A small chimney fire?
Oh, not even that. A trifling little heartburn.
Well, we're sorry to see you go.
You have been very entertaining.
Yes. Thanks to you, we spent a truly Cartesian quarter of an hour.
Speaking of. The Bald Soprano.
She always wears her hair in the same style.
Oh, then goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Good luck and a good fire.
Oh, let's hope so. For all of us.
I can buy a pocket knife for my brother, but you can't buy Ireland for your grandfather.
One walks on his feet, but one heats with electricity or coal.
He who sells an ox today will have an egg tomorrow.
In real life, one must look out of the window.
One can sit down on a chair when the chair doesn't have any.
One must always think of everything.
The ceiling is above the floor below.
When I say yes, it is only a manner of speaking.
To each his own.
Take a sir. Caress it. And it will become vicious.
But a schoolmaster teaches his pupils to read, but a cat suckles her young when they are small.
Nevertheless, it was the cow that gave us tail.
When I'm in the country, I love the solitude and the quiet.
You're not old enough yet for that.
Benjamin Franklin was right. You are more nervous than he.
What are the 7 days of the week?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Saturday.
Sunday.
Edward is a clericist, Sister Nancy a typist, and his brother William a shop assistant.
An odd family.
But I prefer a bird in a bush to a sparrow in a barrel.
Better a steak in a chalet than a grizzle in a castle. An Englishman's home is truly his castle.
I don't know enough Spanish to make myself understood.
I will give you my mother-in-law's slippers if you give me your husband's coffin.
I'm looking for a monophysite priest. No, it's to marry our maid.
What?
Bread is a staff.
Oh.
whose bread is also a staff. But an oak springs from an oak every morning at dawn.
My uncle lives in the country, but I do not see how that is any of the midwife's business.
I mean, papers for writing, the cat's for the rat, and cheeses for scratching.
The car goes very fast, but the cook beats batter better.
Don't be turkeys. Rather kiss the conspirator.
La charité commence à la mansion.
I'm waiting for the aqueduct to come and see me at my windmill.
Well, one can be sure that social progress goes down better with sugar. To hell with polish.
Yeah.
One does not polish spectacles with black wax.
Yes, but with money one can buy anything.
I'd rather kill a rabbit than sing in the garden.
Cockatoos. Cockatoos. Cockatoos.
Such
Cockatoos.
coffee.
Cockatoos. Cockatoos.
Such cascades of cockatoos. Such cascades. Such cascades. Such I'd rather lay an egg in a box than go and steal an ox.
Gnash my teeth.
Crocodile! Oh, let's go slap Ulysses!
Mice have lice. Lice have mice. Mice have lice. Lice have mice.
Don't rouge my brooch.
Don't smooch the brooch!
Groom the goose, don't goose the groom.
The goose grows.
Groom your tooth.
Groom the bridegroom, groom the bridegroom.
Save the douche.
Let's go take it.
Sing the douche grooves my cartouche.
I never stoop to blame, and yet I never choose to stoop.
Robert!
Rudyard!
Kipling!
Robert Kipling.
Hurry up, stop the box! The postman, no, Saves to scoot from saves to stairs! It's not that way! It's her! It's not that way, it's over here.
It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here.
It's not that way, it's over here. It's not that way, it's over here.
There. It's 9 o'clock. We've drunk the soup and eaten the fish and chips and the English salad. The children have drunk the English water. We've eaten well tonight. That's because we live in the suburbs of London and our name is Smith.